So I'm having some trouble with this little Merc. It fires right up and idles. It'll idle all day long. You give it some gas and it dies. Restart it, and then you just pin the throttle and it'll chug and chug and chug, and then it'll spin up and run in the high RPM, but it won't run right off of idle, and that's kind of pointless for a trolling motor. So I'm going to pull the carburetor off of it again and give it a cleaning. So to get this carb off, because I've had it off a couple of times already, and I suspect that my problem might be a vacuum leak here, or possibly another plugged up jet. I'm not sure if the fuel lines are deteriorating or if I'm just still getting gunk out of the tank. But the last time that I had this carb off, after having it off like 3 times before that, I found more sediment in it. Either way, to get this thing off, I need a pair of pliers to pull the fuel line off of it, and a 10mm wrench, and a socket with an extension in 10mm to get the bolts out, and a screwdriver for the throttle set rod. Yeah. So I've got 10mm wrench that I just went and got from the barn, and inside this box, oh Ken, why do you have this big stupid ugly box in your boat? You're taking up all your fishing room. Well, this is why. All my stuff goes in there, then it's out of the way, you know where it is. And I just keep a regular tool set in here. Kind of a cheaper tool set, but does the job. Get a little bit of rust, but nothing some WD-40 won't fix when I put it back together. I highly recommend everybody carries some basic tools. Stay within your means and your abilities, but carry some tools with you. You never know when you'll need them on the water. Okay, so I have the carburetor off. Looks nice on the outside, but that doesn't mean there's not stuff on the inside of it. I'm going to start by removing the float bowl, and that's these screws. There's 4 of them, and then I have this part that came off behind it. Now originally these gaskets, the other one stayed on the motor because it was stuck and I didn't want to break it. They had like a gray ring of sealant around them, and they don't now because they've been apart several times. So when I put it back together, I'm going to apply a little bit of silicone, try and get that to seal up, because, well, I'm frankly tired of screwing with this thing, and it might be time to buy a Honda. But I already own this one, so I'm going to give it another shot. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there is some silt in here. I kind of mixed it up already a little bit with my knife to find out if it was solid or not. But there is some silt in here. It doesn't appear to be degrading fuel line. It's just silt. I don't know where it came from. It made it through two fuel filters, a water separator, and this screen. So maybe this will just be an ongoing problem until I get it all solved. When I put the boat together, I put all new fuel fittings and all new fuel lines every inch of the way through a brand new fuel separator with a filter, separate filter. And it doesn't make any sense. This problem doesn't happen with my main motor, and they're both feeding off of the same, off the water separator. So I'm not sure on this. I'm going to dig a little deeper. Okay, so now I've got it opened up. I got the jets and the emulsion tube and the plug and the mix screw pulled out. I found some sediment in the jets. That's probably why it didn't like to come off of idle. I'm going to put this thing through my ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm going to use a air compressor to blow through the passages here and here. Alright, so I just got my little ultrasonic cleaner out, and I just put new solvent in it. I'm just using a mild automotive solvent that's rubber safe and all that fancy jazz. You can put your hands in it. It's not dangerous stuff. So before I put the screen in it, I'm going to drop all the jets and small parts down in the bottom, and then I'll put the screen in for the carburetor body and the float ball. Now I've got the parts in there. Come back here, turn on the power, and I'm going to set the timer up to, we'll say 25 minutes, and we'll just set it for cleaning. I'm not going to mess with the temperature because, well, I don't like messing with the temperature. It gets warm on its own anyway. Alright, now we walk away and come back. Alright, the ultrasonic is done. You see that my solvent's a little darker. That means it's cleaned some stuff up. And now I'm going to blow everything out and put it back together. Alright, got the carburetor reinstalled, I got the water turned on, I got fuel primed. Now I'm going to try and start it. Okay, so I've already started it, and the needle didn't seat the first time. I kind of made a mess, had to sop the fuel up that came out of the overflow. Needle seated. And then I adjusted the idle and the mix again because I had the mix screw out. And now it starts up real good. But it does this. And that's kind of annoying. But I'm going to keep playing with the mix, see if I can get it to, I don't know, I guess ridging up right there. Anyway, better than it was. You just hanging out today? Helping me with the boat?